The Galactic Council's emergency session had been called in the depths of Nexus Prime's most secure chamber, 3 kilometers beneath the surface of their capital world. Ambassador Zethkar of the Vorthak Collective shifted nervously in his ceremonial robes as the holographic displays flickered with incoming reports from across the galaxy. "The situation grows worse by the hour," announced High Counselor Veltar, her 6 eyes reflecting the blue glow of the tactical displays. "The humans have broken through the Kepler defense grid. That's 17 star systems they've liberated in just 6 standard cycles." A collective shudder ran through the assembled representatives of 43 species. 6 months ago, they had voted unanimously to declare humanity a Category Alpha threat to galactic stability. The motion had passed with celebration. Finally, they would contain the most dangerous species the galaxy had ever encountered. Now they cowered in their deepest bunker, sealing blast doors behind them. Admiral Krex of the Hegemony Defense Corps activated the central holodisplay, showing a 3-dimensional map of human expansion. Red markers indicated liberated worlds, and they spread like wildfire across previously controlled territories. "We underestimated them," Krex admitted, his mandibles clicking with distress. "We knew they were violent. We knew they were unpredictable. But we never imagined they would be this effective." The truth was damning. For 3 centuries, the Galactic Council had maintained order through a simple system. Conquered species were assigned to protection zones, where they worked for the greater good of galactic civilization. The arrangement had functioned perfectly until humanity arrived. Humans were supposed to be just another primitive species, easily contained on their designated worlds. Instead, they had done something unprecedented. They had started asking questions. "Why do we mine for you without compensation? Why can't we travel freely between systems? Why do you speak of protection when you've built weapons platforms aimed at our colonies?" The Council had expected compliance. They had received revolution instead. "Show them the footage from Kepler 442b, Zethkar requested quietly. The display shifted to show the human fleet approaching the heavily fortified world. Standard protocol suggested a prolonged siege, months of attrition warfare. Instead, the humans had broadcast a message on all frequencies. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Liberation Fleet. To any Vorthak forces on Kepler 442b, you have 1 hour to evacuate all personnel from the surface. Any who remain will be considered hostile combatants. To the enslaved Ixari population below, we're here to take you home." What followed defied every military doctrine the Council knew. The human fleet hadn't targeted the planetary defenses or orbital stations. Instead, they had systematically destroyed every slave processing facility, every administrative complex, every symbol of Council authority, while simultaneously providing evacuation transports for both the enslaved Ixari and any Vorthak who chose to leave. The Vorthak garrison, expecting a brutal assault, found themselves facing an ultimatum backed by overwhelming force but tempered with unexpected mercy. Most had simply left. "They're not just fighting us," observed Counselor Yill of the Crystalline Hierarchy. "They're offering everyone a choice. Our own soldiers are defecting because humans treat their prisoners better than we treat our allies." The strategic implications were terrifying. Humanity's military doctrine was built around rapid, decisive action and minimal casualties, not just for themselves, but for everyone involved. They had somehow turned warfare into a recruitment tool. "The psychological warfare reports are equally disturbing," Admiral Krex continued. "They're broadcasting something called music across our networks. Our analysts say it's some form of emotional manipulation, but our troops keep requesting more of these songs. Morale in the outer sectors has never been higher, but they're singing human battle hymns." High Counselor Veltar examined the tactical projections with growing dread. At humanity's current rate of advance, they would reach the core worlds within 2 months. But the most terrifying aspect wasn't their military capability. It was their effect on galactic society. Every world the humans liberated immediately began producing surplus resources, advancing technologically, and contributing to the growing coalition. The freed species weren't just fighting alongside humanity. They were flourishing in ways the Council had never permitted. "Perhaps," suggested Zethkar hesitantly, "we should consider negotiation." The chamber fell silent. The idea of the Galactic Council negotiating with a Category Alpha threat was unthinkable. They were the supreme authority in the galaxy, the arbiters of cosmic order. A chime indicated an incoming transmission. The Council's communication officer, a nervous blurine named Six, announced, "High-priority message from the human fleet. They're requesting diplomatic contact." "Put it through," Veltar commanded. The hologram materialized, showing a human woman in a simple military uniform. She appeared remarkably young by galactic standards, with kind eyes that somehow conveyed both compassion and absolute determination. "Greetings, Galactic Council. I'm Admiral Elena Vasquez, representing the Terran Coalition and our allies. We're currently 3 days out from Nexus Prime." The Council members exchanged panicked glances. Their intelligence had suggested at least a week before any human forces could reach the capital. "We come with an offer," Admiral Vasquez continued. "Dissolve the slavery systems. Grant true autonomy to all species. Establish actual democratic representation in galactic governance. In return, we'll help you build something better than an empire built on forced labor and fear." High Counselor Veltar found her voice. "And if we refuse?" The human admiral's expression didn't change, but something in her eyes hardened. "Then we'll accept the unconditional surrender you'll offer in 72 hours instead. The outcome is the same: freedom for everyone. We're just offering you the chance to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem." The transmission ended, leaving the Council in stunned silence. Outside their bunker across the galaxy, humanity's revolution continued. But it wasn't the conquest of a savage species they had feared. It was something far more dangerous to their authoritarian rule. It was the systematic liberation of every being who had ever dreamed of freedom, backed by the unshakable human belief that liberty was the birthright of all intelligent life. The Council had declared humanity dangerous. They had never been more correct, or more thoroughly outmaneuvered by their own assessment.